Hello everybody, welcome to the follow-up video to the Monday video. It's the Wednesday, April the 1st, but no fool's jokes for me and from me, and I already fell for one, by the way, on X today. Lots of fun. Actually, the geopolitical scene, the Iran versus US, the news coming from this area, like they kind of look like the April's Fool's joke, to be honest, but I don't think they are, because you see all of this heavy equipment, you see, new war machines being shipped towards Iran, you see thousands upon thousands of Marines being shipped towards Iran, and this is just such a big costs, and they are not coming there just to turn away because the Persians now asked nicely. So we have a news like this one that I have just posted on the screen. This is from yesterday actually, and today we seem to have more of those news. By the way, this is from some Iran's president, Pezeshkian. I don't even think, or I don't know, I'm not sure if he holds any real power, by the way, because of course Iran is not democracy. So, in the democratic world, when people hear a president, they think power, but it's maybe in the US. In the Russia, it's so, even though the president is not a president, it's a tsar, right? So I think this is pretty much meaningless, what I see, like this news. And I saw yesterday pretty hefty pump on the markets. This is S&P 500. And by the way, in 4 minutes the markets are going to open and we can watch it live. By the way, when I look at the futures and stuff, I think they want to open somewhere here. This is the 200-day moving average, this green line. This is probably like the absolute top where we can go this week. The point of this video, guys, is that this news and pumping into this news, it convinced me yet again, as I told you the last week. I told you exactly the same. We had a similar manipulated news on the 23rd of March. I'm trying to find out where it actually is. Yes, it was here. So the last time I made a video like this, it was in this spot, and I told you I'm shorting stocks into it and buying oil. And I did as much. And instantly after that, and I just can't see any other way than this to be the same. So I am going to basically, even though I am really starting to be and getting bullish, I have bought lots of stocks, but I am yet to buy calls. I bought stocks on the spot, and I have not yet bought the calls, and I'm looking to buy the calls, and I really want to buy the calls during some kind of a capitulation event. And I think the capitulation event is coming, and I think this is all part of it. So what I think, if I read this situation correctly, this is nothing else but just manipulation, and also with the markets as well, and just insiders trading and everything. And they are just basically force pumping the markets into these news, and basically that's going to be some kind of a local top again. And Trump is running out of time because he has by law 60 days window during which he can conduct this kind of military operation, and that window expires at the end of April. So in the April I do expect this whole situation calms down, and then I do expect the markets to bottom in the April basically, and probably in the first half, because the markets are going to be front running this. And also we have Easter. Which means that more holiday days, and that's even more reason to probably do it over the Easter. So I can delete this tweet. So I am going, or I want to short again, even though I still haven't closed all my shorts, so those will be fine. But I would like to really add some new shorts, but probably the last time, because really the sentiment is really shattered. We've already corrected like 9.6%. This was a 9.8%, so almost 10% correction for the S&P 500. And maybe that's going to be the top, I don't know. Maybe we will come back down there, and maybe then up we go. So however, I also have a little bit of this structural problem to short. I can show you my chart of AIQ. Forgive me all of these lines there. I know that very often my charts really look like a mess. Like you can't see what is going on in there. Of course, important is that I know what is going on in there. And okay, the markets opened. I can see the AIQ opened right here. So obviously I'm recording this video, so I can't be looking at the puts, but this is even too low for me to really do that. And this is the S&P 500. We've opened 6,560. So I actually expected higher. Also, another trade that I would really be looking into and considering would be the long oil. And only today, actually, I realized that I probably have already missed it, because when you measure basically the move from the 25th of March to the recent top of $106 per barrel, we basically did come back to the half. So this half level, that was the reload zone. But of course, if the oil comes back there today to this level or even below, I am going to initiate the long. And also I would of course like to add or just make some shorts. The problem is that it's against my rules, because I would make this video very long and I don't want to do that. Basically, it's very hard to short a chart like this, even though and also when it comes to AIQ, this is seasonality. This is my seasonality research, and I have found out that AIQ basically is seasonally strong since the middle of April. So it's basically just a short for like 2 weeks ahead. So maybe I'm going to just throw in some very, like 1 month expiry away, 0.25% of total position of the puts. So maybe I'm going to do something like that, because it's very hard. Because how do you short something like this? Like, even when I have this kind of a fundamental case that this is all a fake pumping and it's going to reverse, even though like this is Fibonacci measurement of the recent correction for in AIQ, and the 0.5 level, 0.5 level, that's right here, this green line. So basically that's right here, okay? This is the 0.5 level. So yes, if AIQ gets all the way here, maybe then I can short, but definitely not here. And even then I can short with a very small position, because this is not a strong, this is not really a strong strong chart for shorting, because basically, the correction might have already been done. And maybe all that it's missing is that it's going to just come back down once again, and that's going to be it. Or maybe go a little bit lower, and that's going to be it. So last but not least, I will probably add to my longer term shorts for crypto. And I just want to show you one chart, which I show you every now and then. So this is the fib levels between halving, as you probably have seen this. I have been really sharing this research And in April we have 0.5. And every single time when we were approaching this level, you know, like the last one was in October, and then we had a collapse in October, and even another collapse from the line. When we were approaching the line before, and that was the 0.236, again, the same pattern. It was at the end of March, and we had a collapse of crypto. This was in 2025, okay? And we had a collapse of crypto, well, actually still at the beginning of March, but especially at the very late of February. So again, before that line, and even from the line, we even still had some kind of a, you know, a correction. So I do expect that this month is the month, and when we are going to undercut 60,000 for Bitcoin, and I can even say that this could happen over Easter, so within the few days we will be below 60,000 Bitcoin, or it's going to happen once we get to this line, so 17th of April, in the second half of April. So if in case we manage to go up somehow, then I think it's going to be the late April or early May when we are going to undercut the 60,000.